सुनिए पढ़ पढ़ पावे मान. So pad means reading and reading. Yeah, the intellectuals. This is now talking to the intellectuals. First it talks to the charitable people, the ones who think they're superior by doing lots of seva. Then it addresses the ones who think they're superior because they've been to all the holy places. Now it addresses the intellectuals, the ones who think they're superior because they've read all the books. Pad pad pave maan. Maan means honor. Yeah, you get honor. You get exalted. People see you, put you in a high place. They see you as someone important because you've read all the books, you've got all the knowledge. So what is Guruji saying? Guruji saying is, if you're listening, if you're in that state of listening, you obtain all the honor that you would obtain by reading all the difficult books. Yeah? Granths after granths. Think about how much knowledge has been collected over time. Not even in just the Indian tradition. That alone will take you a lifetime to read all those books. But all the ancient worlds, the Greeks had the libraries of Alexandria. They had these big, great libraries where they collected all of the wisdom from around the world. The Persians had lots and lots of knowledge. Yeah, great scholars. But Guruji says that this is limited. Listening to yourself, finding that presence within yourself, that is the highest maan. Yeah, that's the highest honor that you get. So Guru doesn't value knowledge from books alone. The knowledge that you get from experiencing your own self, that is what is valuable to the Guru. Today we're very quick to call people Gyani, yeah, because they've read all the books. To me, that's a Granthi. Granthi is somebody who's read all the Granths. Gyani is somebody completely different. Somebody who has Gyan within themselves of what they are, what the divine is, what this Ikonkar is, that's a Gyani. Somebody who's read all the books should be respected. They've gone and done a lot of research. But they are a Granthi. Yeah? There's a difference. See, Guruji talks about these people as well. Kya padhiye, kya guniye, kya ved purana suniye. What is the point of all of this reading, all of this chanting, all of these listening to these Veds and the Purans, these historic scriptures? What is the point of all of this? Padhe sune kya hoye, jo sahaj na miliyo soye. What have you achieved by doing all this reading and listening to all this knowledge if you haven't found contentment, peace, stillness within yourself? What's the point of all of this? Guruji's challenging these people. Suniye pad pad pave man. So reading and reading alone, no value. Going to all the places of pilgrimage, no value. Doing lots of charity work, no value. Yeah? And this concept is not just something that the Gurus have picked up on. All the spiritual masters have always talked about this thing. Around sort of I believe the 1800s, there's a very famous Sufi mystic known as Bulle Shah. And one of his most favorite poems addresses this same issue about reading. Baba Bulle Shah says, Pad pad alam te fazil hoya te kade apne aap nu padhiya hi nahi. By reading, you've become very honorable, very knowledgeable. But you've never read yourself. Kade apne aap nu padhiya hi nahi. You've read all the books, but you've never read yourself. Paj paj vadana e mandar masiti te kade man apne vich vadiya hi nahi. You running to all of the mosques, to all of the temples, but you've never gone within your own mind. लड़ना ए रोज शैतान दे नाल ते कदी नफ्स अपने नाल लड़िया ही नहीं. Every day uselessly you're fighting Satan, but you've never fought your own ego. He's talking to himself. Yeah, he's not addressing anyone else. He says this is what we do. We focus on all these things. Bulle Shah asmani urdiya fadaunda e te jeda kar baitha onu fadiya hi nahi. You're chasing after the things, the angels and the fairies floating in the sky, but that which is sitting in your own home, that you've never caught. So this idea of going within yourself is the such of all dharams. They've all known this thing, that the external is temporary, the external is useless. There is something inside you, and this is the one thing that nobody teaches us. Look everywhere, in every tradition, the traditions, the rituals, the appearance, that is the thing that is valued, that's the thing that's promoted. Every single thing within our original traditions has a reason, because it allows you to go back within yourself. It allows you to maintain that dhyan. And slowly by slowly, all those traditions are wearing away. Rag Kirtan, the original instruments. Ladivar, reading Gurbani where there's no breaks. Imagine the concentration that's needed to read a line of Gurbani like that. Now it's simplified. We think, oh, it's good, it's modernized. Reading in the same way. All of these traditions we lose. Yeah. So there's no man in these things. There's no honor in these things. Suniye has the real honor. Suniye pad pad pave man. Suniye lage sahaj dhyan. So lage means to obtain, to get. Sahaj means stillness. Absolute tranquility. Dhyan, this is a fascinating word. Dhyan today, we think, means concentration. You know, your parents will tell you, dhyan nal kam karo. Yeah? Concentrate, do it, don't let your mind go anywhere else. But dhyan, in a dharam perspective, means far more than concentration. It means awareness. And there's a difference. Concentration you do with the mind. Awareness is behind the mind. He's not using the mind to focus. This is why actually even what we call meditation isn't what we're talking about. Meditation, the way it's taught in the West, is like focus. But there's a problem with that. You notice if you're trying to do your meditation and you're focusing on doing it, it's like you're trying to squeeze something, like you're trying to hold something. Dhyan, imagine you're trying to obtain the air. Imagine you're trying to hold the air. If you close your hand, how much air will you have in there? Hardly anything. That's meditation. Focus, concentrate. Don't think about anything else. Dhyan is letting go. It's not focusing, it's about relaxing. It's a completely different approach. One is tight, tense, focus, concentrate. That's how we use the word dhyan. But the real meaning of the word dhyan is to open, not to close. If you want to hold the air, with a closed hand you have nothing. As soon as you open your hand, you have the air. Dhyan and meditation is the difference between a closed hand and an open hand. The same thing we do with our mind. We're not focusing on trying to find something. We're not sitting there and really trying to focus our concentration that we hold on to something. No, we're doing the opposite. We're letting go and just watching what is there. That letting go and watching is dhyan. Simply just being in a state of observing that which is already there, rather than trying to hold on to something and push something away. Yeah? Something to be aware of when you're sitting in meditation. If you find yourself concentrating, this is why we spend half the time in the meditation relaxing. Because you can't meditate if you're concentrating, if you're focusing, if you're tight. That's not what dhyan is. Dhyan is openness. When you open, that which is there is there. Thoughts come in, you watch them. You allow them to float away. You don't hold on to them. As a thought comes in, this is why we say, when you're meditating, as a thought comes in, or did I leave the stove on? All these kind of thoughts come running into mind. We don't judge them. The mind is going to do that. That's the function of the mind, to remind you of stuff, yeah? It's like your to-do list. That's what your mind does. Remind requires the mind. Yeah, that's why we use the word remind. Yeah. So you will obtain lage, sahaj, you will obtain stillness, you will obtain dhyan. The mind is constantly awake, talking, but dhyan is awake. There's awakeness inside you. You just sit within yourself and you realize कि मैं हैगा इत्थे. That alone should be enough. Be aware of that. Then you ask him, मैं है कौन? What is this मैं? Why do I call it मैं? Really, something is here. Not necessarily मैं is here, but something is here. I've just called it मैं. मैं is just a label. What we're saying is aliveness is here. Consciousness is here. I'm awake. I can think. I'm aware of my own presence. I'm here. That's what you're calling मैं. That I can see, I can feel, I can hear. There is a I amness here. That I amness we've labeled मैं. But that I amness is you. Lage sahaj dhyan. But this happens through practice. This is why we do the meditations. This is why I encourage you, go home, carry on practicing. Must practice this meditation. Nanak bhagata sada vigas suniya dukh paap ka nas. Nanak reminds us that the people who are doing this, the bhagats, they are constantly free, joyful, playful, sada vigas, because they've got rid of their suffering, because they've detached from the home of suffering. Mind is the home of suffering. They now not attached to that. There's no link between them and the mind. So they've got rid of dukh, they've got rid of paap.